Hey guys, welcome back to the Matrix Man Info, and today I want to discuss this topic, and it is slut shaming. And we see a new form of dress code when it comes to women in the West right now, where if you go, for example, on Instagram, you can see pretty much at least 95% of the woman on there is pretty much naked these days. And whereas you can see a man's page and man is pretty much suited into, the fine clothing. So why is it that woman has to be showing himself in that kind of derogative way, and then when man was to go and call them out for what it is, then they said that they're not that. So if you understand, sex workers or prostitute or harlot, if you was to go to any kind of these places where they do work and see how they dress and the mode of behavior, then you realize that you're pretty much mimicking the same thing like these women in this field. So we're simply saying that you're sending out two signals. So if you're not a harlot, if you're not a tramp or a hooker or a hustler, or you said maybe a prostitute, then certain dress code would have to reserve for these people. Take, for example, if it was into the public and there's a situation where, let's say, for example, you're dressed like a police officer and you're not a police officer by any means, and something like a problem wants to break out in the public and somebody beckons to you, say, hey, madam or sir, well, in your case, it would be you or the woman, hey, madam, there's a problem over here, can you come and, address this issue? Then they thought to themselves, hey, you're a police officer, so you have the duty to go and do what you need to get done. Then you're going to say to them, hey, I'm not a police officer, I'm just dressing up, because of how I feel, Then you're sending out a mixed signal into the public. And it could be for any of the civil workers. It could be, like I said, police officers, soldiers, or doctors, or anything. Then you're sending out a signal suggesting that, hey, you are this when you're not that. So we're simply saying that, women, yes, you have the right to dress how you choose to, but like I said, you must have a level of respect for yourself and also for the publics, because let's be honest, if the way you dress is depicting your sense of worth or your sense of, like I said, beauty, then what is beauty then? Is it beauty is all about you wearing nothing in the street? Is it beauty to say, okay, then I got a beautiful ass or two beautiful pair of tits, so let's shake this? You go to clubs these days, a woman pretty much is naked. So we're simply saying that, woman, you have to understand that you are more than just what your body says. You are more than that. You have a beautiful body, of course. But what about what's within your own self? What about your self-worth, your integrity, and your morals? So in the sight of what's going on, yes, we have the right, like I said, to dress how we choose to. But even when you see women who participate into yoga, like yoga for women in the modern era, especially in the West, it's pretty much a sexualized activity right now, where you got the certain type of clothing that they wear. And even in going to the gym, the same thing. The clothing that women is wearing to gym right now is pretty much, it have men finding difficulty even to go through their routine in the gym. So you realize that it's more sexualized than anything else. So we're not simply saying you're not supposed to feel sexy about yourself, but we're simply saying there must be a time and place for most of this sometimes. Like I said, you can, dress in a more moderate and also more elegant way, because there has to be elegance to the whole thing. It cannot just be sexualized, let's be honest. And then when men see you as a sex object, then you have an issue with that. Take, for example, when anything's selling right now in the West, it's women who sell it. It could be toilet rolls, it's women sexualized. If it's perfume, it's sexualized by women. If it's a car, it's sexualized by women. If it's food in a grocery shop, it's sexualized by women. So when you guys lend yourself to that kind of way of life, then you should never have an issue where we see you just as a sex symbol, because this is how you portray yourself and this is how you think that men want to see you. Yes, there are a percentage of men who like to see this kind of behavior, but like I said, there are a vast majority of men who like to see a woman who dressed in a respectful way. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with you dressing that way, but like I said, there's a place and time for pretty much everything. So if you want to know how a slut dress, or you say a prostitute or a hooker or a harlot, just go to the place where they work, like maybe a club or any little place they work on the corner, and see how they dress and see, what they're about, and then you realize that you're pretty much mimicking these people. So if you're not a slut or harlot or anything in that sense, then, then sort of acknowledge how you dress and put some respect on how you conduct your behavior and also your business in the public, because like I said, people are observing and watching for different reasons, and sometimes you might have pervert out there looking at you in the wrong way, and then later on stuff happened, then you're gonna say, oh my god, what happened, but like I said, different people are observing you, different people are watching you for their own reasons. So like I said, this is just my take on the whole slut shaming thing. I do believe women have the right to dress a certain way, but I do believe that women also have the right to reserve their body for whatever duty, not just only for sex. So this is just my 2 cents on the whole thing. So like I said, I'm the Matrix Man. Please, thank you very much for listening. And like always, think outside of the box. Thank you very much.